So I figured before we go into questions, as we wait for the audience to grow, which I will be chiming in on here, checking in every once in a while. So I hope you don't take offense
like
to that.
My district.
Exactly, your district. Let's talk about that. Your district has a lot of, it's technology up there, a lot of young people there.
There are.
Are you feeling the energy in your district when you go to these town halls?
You do. I mean, and it's, you get 700, 800 folks. You've got a lot of folks on YouTube Live or Facebook Live tuning in, asking questions. But, the biggest thing is that you get a lot of young people talking about, I want to go into journalism. Actually, I've had a number of these people, which is shocking to me. I used to never hear that everyone was, I want to be a computer programmer or this. But people are engaged in politics. They're engaged about journalism. There's an energy out there, certainly in my district.
This is definitely unique. I mean, we remember in 2010 when the Tea Party would have these town halls, and the Tea Party overtook, and they wanted to lower taxes and all the things that they wanted, and they were able to change Congress fairly quickly. But it was organized. Some of it was organic, but a lot of it was organized and maybe turned into a more organic movement as a result. Sure, there are groups that go out there and want to recruit people to go to protests, but the town halls that I've visited are organic.
They're in my district, they're organic. I mean, you'll have, and it's not just young folks. I mean, they're people middle-aged, they're seniors, and they'll come and many will say, I've never been to a political event before, but I'm just so concerned about what's going on. Not just about Trump, but about the party, about politics. And it's very, very organic. I mean, the first time we did it, I think we had 1,300 people show up. To give you a sense, and so I had no clue, because I thought maybe 100 people, 200 people show up. So we had these 3 overflow rooms. So I went to the first one. I went to the second one. It was too late to go to the third one. Well, the third one had their own conversation. They had their own moderator, and they submitted like the notes of the conversation. So it's amazing to see this organic activism and engagement. And I've said this before. It almost feels like those of us in Congress don't get where the energy is. And so you go back to D.C. and it's stifling, and you're talking about caucus politics, and all the energy is on the outside.
Do you think that all of your colleagues are experiencing the same types of crowds? When I'm thinking about the Tea Party, it was almost like they were protesting every single congressman and congresswoman. But I don't see, I see some Republicans, like Jason Chaffetz obviously has had some tough times with his town halls. But your town halls seem very pleasant and open. What is the secret?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been voting. People are looking at the way you vote, and obviously they have had a very progressive voting record. But even with my town halls, I mean, people will ask critical, challenging questions, and part of the sense of just being transparent and open and not being rigged about it. So people know that you'll get to ask questions that are challenging me or critical of me. I mean, I'll try to think the next time the questions come up, but people will say, look, we want you to be more bold on some issue, or we want you to emphasize something. And I think the key is just transparency.
What are some of the top issues that people are bringing up when you go back home?
The big issues are what's the Democrats' positive vision? A lot of people say, look, we've gotten all of this negativity, but what are you guys standing for? The second thing is, of course, there's a sense of, well, what can we do? That's the biggest question. Does our voice still matter? What can I do being in a blue district to help? Third, people are very concerned about jobs. I mean, that's still, even in my district, I mean, what are the jobs for their kids? And then in my district in particular, housing and traffic. I mean, it's just, you can't afford a place in most places in my district because of the housing costs. The traffic is at gridlock, and there are often a lot of issues on housing and traffic that come up.
When you talk about this type of message, the uniform message that's coming out of the party, earlier today I was watching The Morning Joe, and you had the chair, Senator Van Hollen, who chairs the Senate committee, talking about the message. And Joe Scarborough, the host, was pushing back, saying, I think that Democrats have been focusing too much on identity politics, and it's actually pushed away a lot of more conservative voters who would be in the loop. And Senator Van Hollen said that the great unifier is when we talk about economics. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily think that they were saying different things, but just that conversation alone showed that there are so many different strategies to attracting the voters that Democrats have lost. What do you think in Congress right now, Democrats in Congress are thinking in terms of shifting strategies to win for 2018?
I think the lead message has to be jobs and better wages. I mean, folks feel that the economy hasn't worked for everyone, that people who are understand or have taken advantage of technology or globalization, they're doing well, but a large part of the country has been left behind. And what are the opportunities for them, especially as we have an age of robots and artificial intelligence and driverless cars? Part of it is being honest with people out there that, look, there are things that are changing the job market. And then what are the skills that folks are going to need, and what are the efforts to have these jobs, and then making sure that the gains aren't just going to corporations but are going to middle class families. I mean, to the extent the Republican message is less taxes and less government, ours should be good jobs and better wages. You know, we should have to be a party of jobs and wages. That doesn't mean, though, that we don't talk about all the other issues. I mean, obviously there are issues of police brutality, there are issues of folks being deported, dreamers being deported, of injustices of people's rights being violated. I mean, it has to be a comprehensive vision, and we shouldn't shy away from that. But I think the lead message has to be jobs in the economy.